everybody, thank you so much to everyone who joined Patreon last time we talked. I've been having so much fun sending personalized videos to new folks that I've decided to extend that. So if you would like a custom message in video form from me, feel free to check out Patreon and join the $5 tier or above. Or don't. You also don't have to. Hello. So this feels kind of like a vulnerable video for me, mostly because it feels self-indulgent and kind of whiny, but it's open and honest. And aren't we all a little self-indulgent and whiny sometimes? I don't know. I think so. But also, I'd feel remiss if I didn't acknowledge that there are so many much harder and more important things going on in the world. So if you today don't feel like listening to an ultimately really lucky person complaining about some privileged and low-stakes issues, I would understand. I'm trying to be a little less scripted, though, and a little more candid about what's going on in my mind. And right now, I just feel lost. As many of you know, I stepped away from YouTube a while ago, and while I was gone, it changed, and I changed, and I'm just having a hard time adjusting. This sense of lostness is coming from a ton of different directions, and honestly, I don't think I've processed it enough to fully understand it. So this might be a bit tangential, and who knows, I might make some realizations or get even more confused as I speak to you now. So first, I know that I feel lost in that I don't know what I want to talk about on here anymore. I obviously used to talk a ton about trans identity and LGBT plus education, and I had so much queer joy, and I would collab with other people in the community, and it was so beautiful. But then decades of shitty comments and shitty people snuffed a lot of that enthusiasm, unfortunately, and I became scared to talk about those things. Now here's the thing. I feel over that a lot. Kind of, mostly. I mean, who really gets over trauma? But I do feel like ready to own and embrace that queer joy again, and I want to. But what's hard is I feel like while I was gone, the conversation has advanced and evolved past me.
Oh no, voiceover Ash here. It seems that last sentence resonated in a way that is about to burst a floodgate of feelings. So sorry, viewer.
Like, I don't know. I'll get emotional. It almost feels like, before you... sorry. Damn it. It almost feels like after you come out, it's so beautiful and fun and exciting, but there's also this sense of grief because you spent so many years, not being yourself. I feel like those years have been lost, and everyone is, I don't know, they grew in their identity while I stalled for a while. And I almost feel like I don't know where we are culturally in the conversation of, like, LGBT education anymore. And that sucks because being in the know used to be so much of who I am. And so maybe I'm feeling a little bit of like a loss of identity in that way. Holy shit, this is so emotional. Fuck. I didn't even think I was going to shed a tear in this video. I should have known better. Yeah, so I think it just feels like a little bit of a loss of identity because that used to be like who I was and somewhat like what I was known for and what I was so excited about. And now I just feel left behind.
But please don't get me wrong. No one should feel guilty for growing while I was on pause. I want you to grow. I am here for it. I'm just bummed because it kind of feels like my D&D party leveled up while I got trapped in the astral plane on a side quest. And I wanted more spell slots.
And so that's why I think I'm making this video and coming to you, because I need some help regarding what to talk about. And I'm a little concerned because I'm worried that folks might say, oh, all we want to hear and all we want to listen to is whatever you want to talk about. And I totally love the intention behind that, but I think that might not be helpful for me currently because I'm so messy and muddled that I don't even know what I want to talk about. But if I hear from you, I think that taking in some of that input might spark something within me, and it might inspire me, and it might help me learn what I want to talk about. So what I'm wondering is, what gets you excited about queer culture and queer identity right now? Or what is particularly challenging? What are some of the conversations and discourse you are engaging in? What are you curious about? What are you learning about? If you could control my YouTube channel, what would you want me to talk about? I really want to know, because I feel so out of touch right now. And so I think, like, if you would be so obliged, I would love for you to be my focus group. And then I had written down some other notes here about why I might feel lost, and those notes have to do with, being a little older than the primary demographic on YouTube, feeling like kind of a cringy, uncool millennial. But I learned that a ton of my audience is older and is either in my stage of life or even more advanced, and that makes me feel so happy and excited. And maybe I should just lean into that. I mean, I was gonna lean into that. I was gonna talk about things in my life that I care about, but I think maybe what I feel insecure about is I'm still making videos in the same way that I would 6 or 7 years ago, and I just don't know if it feels tired. But also, why do I care? Is there a problem with making videos how I used to? But then also, isn't it good to evolve and advance and grow? And I don't know. Here's another place where I'd like feedback. What do you think about the format and style in which I make videos? Is it fine for you? Would you like me to try something new? And another place, if I'm being honest, where this is coming from is, I took a break for a while, and so I'm noticing some lower views, and I wish so hard I didn't care, but it is difficult not to internalize that, and I think it's a really human thing too. So I don't want to pretend that I am so amazing and transcendent above caring about views, even though I'd like to work towards caring about views less. I think it happens when you make stuff. Anyway, some of these last few things, feeling, I don't know, possibly cringy and tired or a little old, they are real. I do feel those things, but they also feel less significant than the previous part of the video where I, burst into tears. And I think a common thread that everything I've been struggling with has is just feeling out of touch. I feel out of touch and I miss you. And then a lot of this comes back to the big question of, if this is so challenging for you and if you feel so lost, why are you doing it? And I thought that discussing that would be valuable. And the answer to that is because I love connection. Cultivating connection and community and discussing with you and learning from you, those are things I am most passionate about, and I miss those things, and I want to do them more and harder. So I'm hoping you'll help me. If this video made any sense, I don't know if it did. If you can relate to feeling left behind or a loss of identity, and if you've ever struggled with getting back into something, please let me know in the comments. And if you want to share with me where you want this channel to go and what you think might be cool, I cannot tell you how much I'd like that. I know it can be hard to put yourself out there in a comment. You're like, who cares what I think? I really care what you think. I'm telling you now. There are no bad ideas, and I would just love to read. Type a thing for me to read, and I'll be eternally grateful. That's it. I'll see you later. I'm sending personalized videos to anyone who joins Patreon in the $5 tier or up. And yeah. Okay, bye. Yeah, back to this being a silly video. I don't know, when you think about Maslow's hierarchy of needs, I think I'm kind of grappling with things in the top tiers, not necessarily self-actualization, but connection and community and purpose. And then I know there are so many people out there who are facing problems with the bottom tiers, basic needs. So for me to talk about this stuff sometimes feels trivial. But it is how I feel. And I also think there should be more space for people to just, talk about their feelings without comparing. So, yep, bye.
Wow, you made it to the end. Here is the obligatory part where I ask you to follow me on other social media platforms because it profoundly affects my self-worth. Just kidding, it doesn't really. But, please follow me anyway, because that would be fun, and I mean fun for my self-esteem. Haha, no, not actually. I am truthfully totally indifferent, and if no one follows me, I'm not gonna, cry into a pillow all afternoon. I did that last Wednesday, so I think it's out of my system now.